Welcome to my podcast, Apollonia Studio 6.
What was an interview that you did, and as you were doing it, you said to yourself, this is gold?
Let me think. Your interview was great, obviously. That Apollonia interview was great.
I'm teasing, yeah.
I think that when I interviewed Fab Morvan from Milli Vanilli,
Yes.
that was a very big one for me, because it's always like, for me at 48, it's always cool to interview people that I was fans of before any industry thing, where it was just purely a love of the music, unadulterated. I had, I never had plans to start a media company or whatever else. I just figured I was going to be a fan my whole life. So, me and the rest of the world were fans of Milli Vanilli. Like Girl You Know It's True was, Blame It on the Rain were like the biggest songs of the year. They won all the they won the Best New Artist Grammy, which, for those that don't know, was considered, there's like 4 big Grammys. I think they won like Song of the Year and Brand New Artist. Like it was like these big, they cleaned up at the Grammys. Then they had to give the Grammys back.
Give them all back.
and in the process of, so it was very, as someone that just saw it from the outside and saw this whole train wreck happening. And I remember in the interview, I even mentioned how there was this MTV thing that I saw where after the interview, they were like, we're Milli Vanilli, shout out to MTV, and they couldn't speak English a lick. Like their accents were so thick that I was like, how are these guys singing this stuff? Like these guys can't even speak English. Which was true at the time. They were singing this stuff. And to just sort of hear the whole story of it all, of like how they got caught up into agreeing to lip sync. And how quickly it happened, and how the guy who did it had a history of this type of thing. Like the producer who put it together, he had this other really huge hit where he actually did the vocals, but it had a black vocalist actually perform the song. I forgot who it was. I could look it up real quick. But anyways, it was like, this guy did it once, and he's like, okay, I'm going to redo it again, get these 2 good-looking guys, have a bunch of middle-aged guys singing the vocals, we'll put them out, it'll be a hit. Boom. And and how they got caught up into it, and then kind of how it got exposed, and then sort of the massive embarrassment and the fallout from this, and how his group mate ended up getting on drugs really heavily, and how ultimately he checked himself into rehab, but I guess went on a big drug binge right before he checked in and died. And just the whole story of it all was, I feel like this is one of these stories, because no one's ever had to give back a Grammy before or after that.
That's right.
This was a very strange situation, although there's been lots of people lip syncing in the past, and even today, there's so much, you could do so much with Pro Tools that you could take the world's worst singer and have them sound relatively decent.
Make them great. I remember when they did the same thing with CNC Music Factory and Black Box.
Martha Washington.
They did the same thing with Martha Wash.
And she sued, and I think that her lawsuit actually changed the laws.
Changed
where now you had to actually put the right people in the credits. It was a thing. It was a time of like, pulling back the curtains and like, okay, this is really what's happening. But so now, not that anything really changed, because I think it still sort of happens to a certain degree. But it was a very interesting story to see it happen for the first time, and really get a firsthand account of the whole thing.
Full story.
Welcome to my podcast, Apollonia Studio 6.